Have you ever felt like the harder you claw for something, the faster it slips through your fingers? You hold on to someone you love so tightly, but the harder you squeeze, the faster they drift away. You chase money like it's oxygen, but the faster you run, the further it vanishes, taunting you with shadows you can never quite grab. You crave success so desperately that every step forward feels like the ground beneath you is crumbling, as if life itself is laughing at your struggle, dangling everything just beyond your reach. And that's when the weight starts crushing your chest. Frustration, anger, that hollow voice whispering that maybe, just maybe, the universe has decided you're not meant to have any of it. But the truth is colder, sharper, and far more liberating. Life isn't punishing you. It's forcing you to learn the one lesson most people never even realize exists. The more you relax, the more the world bends in your favor. The Stoics lived with this truth carved into their bones. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." Most people hear that and nod, like it's some motivational quote to scroll past, but they don't feel it. What he was saying is that every ounce of energy you waste trying to bend the uncontrollable to your will, every hour spent obsessing over someone's affection, every sleepless night over outcomes you can't dictate, every desperate push to speed up a path that was never meant to be rushed, chains you down. It turns you into a prisoner, not of the world, but of your own frantic grip on it. And the second you let go, not by surrendering, but by loosening that chokehold on life and finally trusting its flow, the very things you've been running after start drifting back into your orbit like iron to a magnet. This isn't about lying down and waiting for miracles. It's about tearing the chaos out of your chest so that life can finally breathe around you. When your mind stops screaming like a siren, you can finally hear opportunity whisper your name. When your heart stops crawling on its knees, love stops gasping and starts to grow. When your soul stops sprinting as if everything is slipping away, the fog clears and the road finally shows itself beneath your feet. It's in those rare, electrifying moments, when you let the storm inside finally calm, that manifestation stops being a fantasy and starts becoming a living, breathing force in your life. Not because you're forcing it, but because you've finally stopped standing in its way. And in this video, we're going to go deep into 7 brutal, unshakable ways drawn from the spine of Stoic philosophy that will rip that inner tension out of you, realign you with your own power, and pull everything you've been chasing straight into your path without you needing to crawl or beg for it anymore. These aren't theories. These are lessons life has already tried to show you. Those moments when you stop panicking and out of nowhere, everything started falling into place, like the world had been waiting for you to finally breathe. By the end, you won't just understand why this works. You'll feel it rewiring you, pulling you into a rhythm where the world for once stops pushing back and starts moving with you. So like, share, comment, and subscribe right now. And don't skip a breath, because every word in this video locks into the next, like links in a chain. Miss one, and the whole thing unravels. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll understand why the moment you truly relax, everything you've ever wanted starts hunting you. Now, let's dive in. Number 1. Release the grip on timing. Most people strangle their dreams to death without even realizing it. They wrap deadlines around their neck like a noose, whispering to themselves, "If it doesn't happen by this year, I'm done. If she doesn't love me back by now, I'll never find love. If I'm not rich by 30, I'm nothing." And while they clutch their plans with trembling fists, life stands still. The air gets tight, the opportunities slip away, and the very thing they're desperate to hold on to begins to rot in their hands. Impatience becomes poison, and that poison builds a wall so thick not a single drop of what you're craving can break through. Seneca once said, "Time discovers truth." The Stoics understood what most people refuse to face. Life doesn't care about your calendar. It moves at its own pace, unbothered by your screaming and kicking. Every second is placed with precision. Every delay is not punishment, it's positioning. But the moment you try to force the clock, the universe pushes back. That's why the job vanishes. That's why the person drifts away. That's why the deal collapses. Not because life has betrayed you, but because you are out of rhythm. You are forcing a door that was never meant to open yet. Imagine a river, wide, relentless, carrying everything forward in its own tempo. You can thrash against it, clawing, demanding to move faster, gasping for control, and you'll find yourself bruised, exhausted, sinking. Or you can let the current take you, steady and sharp-eyed, knowing it will carry you to places your force never could. That is not laziness. That is power. That is trust. And when you surrender that fight, something eerie happens. Life starts to accelerate. The things you thought were years away suddenly crash into your path like a storm, not because you pushed harder, but because you finally stopped choking the flow. I know the panic. I know how it feels when your bones are screaming to grip tighter, to force, to do something before everything slips through your fingers. You think letting go means losing. But the truth? The second you unclench, you create space. Space for love to walk in. Space for opportunities to land. Space for breakthroughs to finally strike. Desperation repels everything you want. Stillness attracts it like gravity. So the next time you feel yourself unraveling over timelines, stop. Breathe so deep it feels like the world just cracked open inside your chest. Whisper to yourself, "Time is my ally, not my executioner." Because every second you release the grip, life starts working for you in ways your frantic hands could never build. And when it finally hits, it doesn't trickle in, it floods. Number 2. Detach from approval and reactions. Imagine carrying 1,000 knives, each one forged from the words, judgments, and sneers of everyone who ever doubted you. Each slash a cut into your confidence, each stab a whisper that you're not enough. This relentless barrage doesn't just bruise your spirit. It drags you into a pit of restless anxiety, where your dreams choke under the weight of other people's shadows. You bend, twist, and contort yourself into a hollow puppet, desperate for applause that never truly satisfies. But in that desperate dance for approval, you lose the one voice that matters, the thunder inside your own chest. Marcus Aurelius tore through this madness when he said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than others, yet we care more about their opinions than our own." This is the brutal paradox that shackles so many, loving the raw core of their being, but drowning in the tidal wave of external judgment. You let the cold, poisonous opinions of others leak into your veins, poisoning your energy, sapping your fire. And that poison stops creation dead in its tracks. Manifestation cannot survive in a soul that trembles under borrowed fear. Picture dragging behind you a monstrous sack filled with every cutting comment, every skeptical glance, every moment when doubt was thrown like stones at your feet. That bag weighs you down like chains forged from lead, slow, suffocating, relentless. Each step forward feels like sinking deeper into quicksand, made of ridicule and fear. But the instant you drop that sack, the moment your hands unclench, the ground beneath you shifts. Suddenly your limbs are light as air. You're no longer dragging your past, you're flying. That is the power of detachment, cutting loose from the noise, from the poison, from the weight of others' expectations, clears the path. Your energy sharpens, your purpose blazes, and the universe answers to that pure, unfiltered force. Detaching is not exile. It is not retreating into shadows to hide. It is planting your feet so deeply into your own truth that the storm of opinions crashes harmlessly around you. You become a fortress, unyielding, unbreakable, untouchable. No gaze, no harsh word, no fleeting doubt can shake your foundation. This is the alchemy that transforms chaos into clarity. The moment you own your power and refuse to feed off others' reactions, manifestation ceases to be a struggle. It becomes an unstoppable tidal wave. When the venom of judgment comes rushing at you, do not flinch. Stand like a mountain that has stared down centuries. Let their words fall away like dry leaves. Their opinions are not your map. You are not here to prove anything to the world. You are here to ignite the fire you were born with and burn so fiercely that nothing can put you out. Number 3. Quiet the noise inside. Your mind is a relentless battlefield, a savage storm ripping through the fragile calm of your soul. That voice inside, it's a cruel puppeteer, endlessly replaying every failure, every harsh rejection, every devastating what if, like a merciless mantra designed to suffocate your breath and crush your fire. The enemy isn't the world outside, it's the tornado of chaos raging in your head, a deafening tempest that drowns out the whispers of possibility and suffocates the stillness where miracles grow. Epictetus cracked the code when he said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This storm, it's your mind's own wild reaction, not the raw facts of reality. Every time you let it spiral, you carve out walls, sharp, jagged, impenetrable, that slam shut the door between you and your destiny. You lose the signal, the subtle signs, the quiet guidance screaming beneath the noise. Peace becomes a stranger because the storm inside crashes too loud to hear anything else. Calming that chaos feels like grabbing fire with bare hands. Insane, brutal, nearly impossible. But here's the savage truth that cuts deeper than steel. When you carve even a fraction of time to sit still, to breathe hard and deep, to step outside the madness and watch it from a distance, something wild happens. The hurricane wavers, the monstrous waves curl into gentle ripples, the thunderous noise eases, making space where the impossible can slip in, where creation ignites. Imagine a garden strangled by choking weeds. Pour all the water you want, plant every seed you can, but nothing grows, because the earth is strangled, suffocated, barren. Your mind is that garden, tangled in weeds of doubt, fear, and noise. Silence is the ruthless gardener tearing out every poisonous root, breaking the ground open, making way for new life to explode in color and wild beauty. Claim that silence. Fight for it with blood and breath. Even 5 minutes, just 5 fierce minutes of stillness every day will shred the noise to shreds. Breathe. Watch your thoughts drift like ghosts, untethered, unclaimed. Let go of the pain, the doubt, the screaming chaos. The quieter you become, the louder life's truths roar. The easier it is to pull the power, the peace, and the impossible into your grasp, because the universe always answers the soul that dares to listen. Number 4. Stop clinging to what's leaving. Some things don't slip away gently. They rip out of your hands like they were never meant to belong to you. Yet instead of letting them go, we dig our nails deeper, clutch harder, and beg life to undo the inevitable. We exhaust ourselves gripping ghosts, choking on memories, screaming at the sky for mercy, while the thing we're gripping is already halfway gone. And every second we hold tighter, our soul bleeds out, our energy dies, and we convince ourselves life is cruel for stealing from us, when in truth it's trying to free us from chains we can't yet see. Seneca wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." The Stoics knew this brutal truth. Life doesn't tear things away to destroy us. It rips them loose, because what's meant for us cannot step forward until our hands are empty. But we rebel. We fight like cornered animals, clinging to what is dead, begging a chapter to stay open long after the ink has dried. And in doing so, we block the next chapter, slamming the door on what was already written in our favor. Picture your life as a house. Every room cluttered with broken furniture, shattered frames, faded memories, and dust-covered relics you can't bring yourself to throw away. You keep stacking more and more, suffocating the air, closing off the windows, making it impossible for new light, new people, new miracles to even walk through the door. The universe is at your doorstep with gifts, love, and abundance, but your arms are too full of dead weight to take any of it. You are starving for the new, yet feeding yourself scraps from the past, wondering why nothing fresh will grow. Letting go burns. It feels like tearing skin from bone, like standing bare and hollow in a room where echoes remind you of what used to fill it. But that ache is not punishment, it's the birth of space. And space is power. It's the clearing of ground so something greater can rise, untainted by the ghosts of what you've outgrown. When you feel the pull, when the signs are screaming that something is walking out, stop chasing. Stand still. Let it leave. Let the silence sting. Because the pain is only temporary, but what's coming next will make the loss make sense. The moment your hands finally let go, life floods them with what was always meant to stay. Number 5. Align action with intention. People scream for peace but keep drinking poison. They beg for love but crawl after those who strip them bare. They dream of success but drown themselves in distractions, numbing their days, convincing themselves that sitting still and chanting about abundance is enough to bring it crashing through their door. And then they wonder why nothing changes, why everything they want feels like smoke slipping through their fingers. Manifestation is not magic. It is alignment. When your desires, your emotions, and your actions finally march in the same direction, life doesn't just move. It surges, it bends, it floods you with everything you've been chasing, because your energy stops working against itself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This isn't just a call to character. It's a weapon. If you want peace, stop breathing life into chaos and calling it excitement. If you want love, stop crawling on broken glass for people who wouldn't bleed for you, and love yourself so fiercely that desperation dies. If you want success, quit worshipping comfort and start taking steps, even small ones, that rip you closer to your vision. Energy without action is a dying flame. Action without purpose is a blind march into nowhere. But when they ignite together, momentum roars, and everything you've been waiting for starts sprinting toward you. Think of your life like an arrow. Your intention is the target, the thing you swear you want. Your actions are the draw, the release, the force that sends it flying. If your hand trembles, if you hesitate, if you pull in the wrong direction, the arrow splinters, falls, or veers off into the dirt. But when the aim is steady, when the pull and release are in perfect rhythm, The arrow doesn't just fly, it slices through the air like destiny itself, cutting down the space between you and what you're hunting. Every single time your steps match your soul, something shifts. People notice, doors crack open, opportunities stalk you, and manifestation stops feeling like a desperate prayer because now you're not just wishing, you're moving like you already deserve it. Life can't ignore that kind of force. Alignment makes you magnetic. Alignment makes the impossible tilt in your favor. Alignment is the reason dreams stop teasing you and start landing in your hands. Number 6. Trust the timing, even when it feels late. There are nights when the weight of waiting crushes your chest like a boulder. You watch the world move forward, people landing the jobs, finding love, building lives, while you stand in the shadows, stuck, watching the clock tick louder and louder. It feels like life has forgotten your name, like every door you knock on echoes back with silence. That stillness can drive you mad, because nothing feels heavier than knowing what you want, but not knowing when it will come. But timing is a ruthless teacher, and it never bends for impatience. Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly." The Stoics understood something most of us don't. Life doesn't hand over anything of real worth until you've been broken open, stripped down, and forced to endure those long, empty stretches where every day feels like the same grey sky. Those stretches aren't punishment. They're the furnace where your future is forged. And yet, most people throw themselves into chaos, clawing for instant results, like a farmer digging up his seeds each day to see if they've sprouted, only to kill them before they ever have the chance to grow. What you can't see is that beneath the surface, things are moving. The job you want, the love you ache for, the peace you crave, it's all orbiting closer. But if it collides with you before you're truly ready, it will tear itself apart in your hands. Sometimes, life doesn't hold back because it's cruel. It holds back because rushing what isn't ripe will destroy it, and destroy you. So breathe, even when your chest feels like it's caving in. Stop bleeding energy by comparing your path to the speed of someone else's. Life is not late. It is not ignoring you. It is building you. Every hour you spend in the silence, every night you feel the loneliness pressing down, is sanding down the rough edges so you can actually hold what's coming without shattering. And when the day finally comes, when that door creaks open and what you've been starving for finally steps into your life, you'll see it clearly. It didn't come late. It came at the only moment it could have, when you were no longer the person who would drop it, but the one strong enough to carry it. Number 7. Let life surprise you. Stop gripping the wheel so hard your hands turn white. Life isn't a machine built to obey your commands. It's a storm, a trickster, a wild current that doesn't care about your maps. You demand neat roads and clear signs, but life answers with detours, wreckage, and doors that slam in your face. And yet, those very wrecks and slammed doors often carry the keys to everything you were meant to find. Seneca once wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The Stoics weren't whispering comfort, they were warning us. Life's greatest gifts rarely arrive dressed as blessings. They come in the form of heartbreak, humiliation, rejection, moments that rip the floor out from under you. And if you're too busy clawing for control, too obsessed with forcing your perfect plan, you'll miss the truth hiding in the rubble, that the storm is the delivery, not the delay. Think about the curses you once spat at the sky, the heartbreak that made your chest feel like it was caving in, the job rejection that left you pacing at 3 a.m., convinced you were failing, the betrayal that made your hands shake with rage. Later, you saw it. The twisted path they carved led you exactly where you needed to go. That heartbreak cleared the space for someone who wouldn't just love you, but truly see you. That rejection shoved you onto a road you didn't even know existed, where your real purpose was waiting. Life doesn't blindside you to break you. It blindsides you because you can't yet see what's on the other side of the hit. So loosen the chains on every expectation strangling you. Tear up the timeline you keep measuring your life against. Open your hands and walk into each day with a pulse of curiosity, not fear. The things meant for you may crawl through chaos, may crash into your life looking nothing like what you begged for. At first, you might even curse them, thinking they're another storm sent to drown you. But when the dust finally settles, when you're standing in the aftermath, you'll realize it. The storm wasn't sent to take from you. It was sent to bring you something far greater than you ever dared to imagine. When you finally stop clinging to what's slipping away, when you stop choking the flow of your own life with your desperation to control every detail, something shifts. The current you've been fighting so hard to swim against suddenly carries you forward. Everything you've been chasing begins to move toward you, not because you forced it, not because you clawed and begged for it, but because you stopped blocking it with your fear and your need to grip everything to death. Stoicism whispers a truth most people never learn until it's too late. You don't need to chase. You don't need to cling. You don't need to bleed yourself dry, trying to hold together things that are meant to fall apart. You move with the current. You trust it. Even when it feels like it's dragging you through shadows, even when every twist feels like punishment, you trust that it's carrying you somewhere you can't yet see, but were always meant to arrive. So if these words burned through you, if they cracked something open inside you, share them. Let them echo. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep them alive. And remember this: what you've been searching for isn't lost. It's already on its way. It's been circling closer with every breath. And when you finally stop fighting the tide, it will find you. In a way so raw, so undeniable, you'll wonder why you ever tried to control the storm at all.